My whole life, I always knew I was special. Even with no remainders, I could always move a decimal. Money on my mind while the girls that made un beso. Hustlers in my blood and it's running through my vessels. Just trying to clear the threshold, just trying to make a way. In my race against time, I could see an early grave. School to prison pipeline, 12 years a slave. Suspension and detention is conditioned for a cage.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is the slap heard around the world. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock after he makes a joke about hair, not really hair loss, about G.I. Jane, a soldier who has short hair, and Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett, has alopecia. And Will said, enough is enough. He went on stage and he slapped him live on television at the Oscars. I know you probably heard about this several times and you're sick of hearing about it, but we're going to do it again anyway, because this is our day where we get together and we ain't really talk about it with each other yet. So I'm going to throw it over to Conspiracy. Lift up the window. Go ahead.
Yo, listen, I'm just going to keep it 100 with y'all. Was Will wrong for that? Yes. However, I think he's justified in the situation. And here's why. Like, this dude and his wife has been the butt of everyone's jokes for the past year. You know what I'm saying? With the entanglements, all of that stuff, right? And like in Will Smith's book, he talked about how, you know, like his mom just always get abused and he never could protect her. You know what I'm saying? And when Chris Rock made that joke, if you notice, Will laughed. You know what I'm saying? But then he looked at his girl, and his girl was like, "Oh, word, you think that's funny?" So then I think he's like, I gotta protect my woman. You know what I mean? Now, should he have done it right then and there? No. I think he should have approached Chris Rock afterwards. But again, this isn't the first time that Chris Rock has made jokes against Jada Pinkett. You know what I mean? I think like the Oscars in like 2016, he pretty much was making a whole bunch of jokes about Jada don't even belong in the Oscars. You know, so it's like clearly he has an agenda against her. You know what I mean? So when Will looked at his woman, she probably gave him that look like, yo, you gonna let him disrespect me? You know what I mean? Go ahead.
He didn't say that she didn't belong. This was the Oscars so white. When black people were boycotting the Oscars because they felt like their work wasn't being acknowledged and the Oscar was going to white people. So Jada said she was going to boycott. And he said, Chris Rock said that he didn't even know she was invited. And he was like, Jada boycotting the Oscars is like him boycotting Rihanna's panties. He wasn't invited. So that was the joke. But he didn't say she didn't belong.
Yeah, that's essentially what he's saying. I'm paraphrasing. You know what I mean? So this isn't the first time he's done it. So now this is the second time. And on top of that, you know, the whole world's been looking at Will like, you ain't really a man, you a beta, this and the third. Your girl smashing your son's friends. You know what I mean? So all that probably playing in his mind. And, you know, his book just came out, him talking about his relationship with his father and how he never protected his mother. So I think on a psychological level, he felt like he had to do something at the moment. Now, I think he should have pulled Chris Rock to the side, you know, and approached him then and there. Or he could have started off with the keep my wife's name out your effing mouth first. He didn't have to roll up and slap him. But nonetheless, I'm like, hey, man, it is what it is. This is my theory. Women and children are off limits. You know what I'm saying? So, and you know me, I'm a clown. I done like made a lot of jokes where I was like, I'm going too far. Where I'm like, if this person slapped me right now on everything, I'm not even joking. There be times where I'm like, I won't even hit him back because I know I'm out of line. I know I'm violating right now. You know what I'm saying? So when Will did it, you know, yeah, he shouldn't have done it. But I think the world showed pity on Will. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people was like, man, he's doing it in defense of his wife. He's been getting clowned. So I think a lot of people's I will give Will the pass. You know, like think about it. Even they show like behind the scenes and stuff during the commercial breaks, everybody's consoling Will. Not one person went to console Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was like, yo, Chris, you okay, man? You good? This and the third. Everybody's going to Will. You know what I mean? Denzel, Lee, what's that do? Tyler Perry. All of them are making sure Will's good. No one cared about Chris Rock. because they're probably like, this dude's a comedian. He violates everybody every year. They probably wanted to see him.
They did.
You know what I mean? They probably wanted to see him get slapped. But I will say this: salute to Chris Rock for not pressing charges. You know what I mean? And I think Chris was probably looking at the way I looked at it. Hey, man, I get it, man. That's his wife. You know what I mean? So, and you know, Chris got a wife also. So sometimes it's like a principle thing.
I think Chris is divorced.
Oh, well, he had a wife then. You know what I mean? And so when you have a wife and he has a daughter, I think that plays into a man's mind. Like, you know, he's defending his loved one. So it ain't even that serious, man. Yo, it's cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then come to find out, I know a lot of people, like I remember I was having a conversation with Rico on Twitter, and Rico was like, man, alopecia just means a bald head. It ain't that serious. It ain't that serious to us fellas. You know what I mean? But in a lot of cultures around the world, like a woman's hair is her beauty. You know what I'm saying? And if a woman like can't grow hair, like losing hair and everything, that psychologically that's difficult for a lot of women. So like to us, even remember Will laughed. So Will got exposed for laughing. But it was
laughing because she's been bald since we known her. She ain't
Exactly.
never had no hair.
Exactly.
She
not
ain't never had no hair.
short hair. Just having short hair and going completely, you know what I mean? Yo, just pass the razor. I'm cutting it all off.
She just had the little what's the cockatoo hairstyle on the red table. She shaved that off. That's her choice. You did all that.
I mean, yo, but bro, if she really got alopecia, is it
I'm
really
with you, G. I'm with you on some of the stuff, G.
Like how I look at life is like this. Like it's hard to laugh at people for things they can't control. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I wouldn't laugh at somebody's mental illness, right? I wouldn't laugh at like something that you can't control. It's like you're running a risk. Like as a comedian, it's an art form, but it's like there's certain things that you just can't cross. And there's several comedians that got punched during comedy shows by angry audience members and stuff. So it's just like everybody responds differently. Should he have done it again? No, but nonetheless, we're talking about a man's wife. And I'm being real, like I can understand that. And I think everybody's like, yo, don't press charges, give him a pass. Y'all been dragging this dude for like months. Like, I do feel bad for Will, man. Like this dude got labeled beta of the year, bro. Like, and now he's just trying to get his manhood back. So
And he was beta of the year that night too.
Yes,
it's true.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I want to when people are saying
All he did was earn the award again. Beta of the year again.
Yeah. But let me explain one thing too. When people like, and I think Rico actually said that, like, yo, he wouldn't have slapped The Rock if The Rock actually, Dwayne Johnson said it. And I'm like, yeah, but Chris Rock wouldn't say that if he was talking to Gucci Mane either. You see what I'm saying? I think both gentlemen knew who they were.
Chris Rock,
you know
just to let you know, Chris Rock done made jokes against Rick Ross in his face.
Mm-hmm.
And Rick Ross was like yo, and he said that Chris Rock washed up. That dude washed up. But then they squashed it and he ended up having Chris Rock on his album. So actually that's not true.
No. We're talking about Gucci Mane, who is known to put dudes in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people you just know you can mess with. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just know that. It's like as a comedian, you know who you could clown.
Yeah, and there's certain people you know you can slap, right? And there's certain people you know you can slap, right?
And Gucci
That's
Mane
I didn't like that.
Gucci Mane, and that's a bad example because Gucci Mane ain't no hunter. Like we got to get that out the man. He was a victim. A niggas was coming to do something to him, and he fired back in self-defense. It wasn't like he was a hunter. He was in traffic. He was waiting in the bushes. It's two different things. I don't want to. Are you finished? Because
Go ahead. No, go ahead. G, keep rocking.
I'm good. I'm pretty much.
No. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Go ahead, True.
Now, because you made a couple of strong points. Because I do agree with you, G. That. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's disrespect a man's wife and their children are totally off limits. I'm 100% with you, G. And defending your woman, you should definitely defend your woman when somebody is being disrespectful and it's out of taste, right? I don't think that Rock was just doing what Rock does. And I get what you was also saying about everything that Will has been going through. Everything that Will has been going through. That was wrong for Will to put his hands on him. You should never have to go put your hands on. And I was embarrassed for our culture when he did that as well. And I think that Chris handled it well as well. he had people there. Everybody forgets that. He had people there, and people did check up on Chris Rock, and they was telling him to chill. And it could have went a totally different way from what I was hearing, because Chris Rock did have people there, and he calmed his people down, and we kept it really professional, and he finished what he was doing, which is only going to bless him in the end. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, when I look at it, where we're all talking about, oh, poor Will, yeah, I say it's poor Will. People have drugged them through it, but it wasn't Chris Rock who did it. It was his woman that did it. And everybody is sitting here and they going at everybody else, but they're not putting blame on that woman there. And she is toxic. And you just reiterated it. When you were sitting here saying all this, I came at it at a different way. But when you was talking, G, the whole time I was sitting there like, damn, that was her opportunity to protect her husband. She done put this man underneath the bus. She done dragged him, do the dirt with this entanglement stuff, embarrass him every second she gets. From Tupac to everything, trying to make him feel less than a man. And then you have the audacity to do this again over a joke. My lady would never want me to be in that situation. She wouldn't want me to be locked up or me getting her in a situation over a joke. She would have seen me get up and she would have grabbed my hand. She said, no, baby, it ain't even worth it. That was her job, to protect her man right there. And she failed. She failed. And she been feeling Will. So if I'm going to blame anybody, I'm going to blame that, bro. I'm going to blame her. I'm going to blame Jay. Excuse my language. I'm going to blame her. Because she, I'm sorry. Y'all know how I get. I'm sorry. I'm going to take it. I take that back. I'm going to blame that woman. You know why? Because all I've seen is nothing but toxic stuff from her. You ain't the star. You ain't Will. She always trying to take over what he's doing. No matter what, he got a top movie out, she got to say something crazy or do something crazy to make it about her. She's Floyd Mayweather. Canelo got to fight, she got to say something. Tank fighting, you got to mention what you done did. Chris Rock was right. Who are you? Yeah, you boycotting the what? Who are you to boycott him? You ain't never been nominated for nothing. Exactly. We gave you set it off. That's it. But no. She cannot get away with that again. I understand that we have to protect our women, but when is the time when we get protected? When do we get protected?
Well, Will definitely got protected because he didn't get arrested, or
nah, he got
protected by a black man. He got protected by
Chris Rock. He wasn't protected by his lady, his woman that he's been being embarrassed by. She didn't protect him, and that was her perfect opportunity to be a wife. He'd been protecting her. With the whole entanglement thing, she was doing disrespectful stuff, bringing this man into their home. Made their son move out because he felt uncomfortable. This is the woman that was doing all this disrespectful stuff. And you going to sit here and go crazy and slap Chris Rock over her head? She's been bald.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry, man. But it just made me remember all this stuff when bro was talking, when G was talking. I was like, yo, this was her opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And Will laughed. He knew what it is. He's like, G, been not having it. You know what I'm saying? Shoot.
Oh, you laughing?
Yeah, and then her toxic self. You gonna wear that ugly dress too, trying to upsteal. You ain't winning no awards. Sitting there, look, no, I'm mad now. Now that I think about it, you just played this man. You just played Will. Everything he has done, it made him look stupid again. And you did it. You did it again. You're just destroying this man's career and character because of some way how you feel about yourself. And I think that's wrong. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my van. I've been calm. I've been doing good for the last 5 Boxing Bros episodes. I've been cool. I have to put my emotions in check. I
thought it was an imposter.
I'm sorry.
On the 30th floor.
I'm sorry.
Trill jumped off the first floor in my eyes. But go ahead.
I'm sorry. The views and opinions of Trill. You know what I'm saying?
Those are just his opinions. The views and opinions of Trill do not reflect the Boxing Bros as a whole and all the other faces you see on the screen. There it is, right
Thank
there.
you. Thank you.
You know, I'm gonna bring Ned in, and then I'm gonna go, and then we can have an open dialogue, or we can close it, whatever. Go ahead, Ned.
Now before I go in, I want to agree with Trill. Like, Jada did mess up. It was a night where she was supposed to support Will in the moment where he won an Oscar for a movie where I haven't even seen King Richard, and I'm waiting for the chance to. I have so many movies I have to go through, and that's one that's on my list. I'm waiting to see his spectacular performance in that movie. And in the moment where she was supposed to honor her man, she made it by herself and ruined, basically stole the light and stole the thunder. And I don't agree with what Will Smith did. I understand what he did. I don't agree with what he did and how he went about it. There's ways to go about it. But when I first saw this smack, honestly, I can go back to this moment. My reaction was I was in awe. Like, my phone is vibrating and going crazy, and I click it, and I'm like, what the heck am I watching? I see somebody get slapped. I couldn't even identify it was Chris Rock. See him get slapped. And then I watched it again. I'm like, that's Chris Rock. That's Will Smith. What? Watch it. I didn't even let it get back to keep my wife's name out your mouth. I'm just going back to the slap. Like, what? Then I let it play. Will Smith just smacked the S out of me, and I'm just like, damn, yo, this is real. And I rewind it again. Just kept rewinding it, and then I just sent it to like a lot of people who didn't know it happened. And then I'm just like, it kept me up for an hour because I was like 2 a.m. in the morning. It kept me up for like an hour because I'm just like,
and you watched it that many times,
bro? Yeah, bro. I couldn't believe this happened. Like, I was in disbelief.
You watching it in slow motion.
I'm like, yo, he really just like smacked him.
He took a break from watching Clarissa Shields, and
and then the other clips started coming out where Diddy was like, "We're gonna take care of this." At the after party, and like, Diddy, you ain't got no business mediating anything, yo. You the same one who slapped Drake at a party, who attacked your son's coach, things like that. So, you know, I don't think you're the voice of reason they need to be listening to right now. But I'm glad, like, a lot of the grown men in the room, the men of color at that, who are well-known Black actors, probably reached out to both parties and like try to like realize, hey man, this is not how we do this. This made us all look bad, and you know, probably try to mend things between the two, because you know they need a time apart. I think Will and Chris Rock finally spoke after this. I'm thinking they spoke after this, and there's probably water under the bridge. But this is something that's not gonna go away for a while, and every time the Oscars come around, we're gonna go back to this clip and.
But they both squashed it though. Like Chris Rock apologized.
I know, but we're gonna go back to this clip every time.
I don't know if they squashed it. I didn't hear that they squashed it.
Something.
Yeah,
but
who apologized?
I feel Chris is gonna capitalize off of this moment.
Where did Chris Rock apologize?
Yeah, he apologized.
He apologized. He said something on Instagram. He put a made a post. He was like,
he apologized to the
comment, the joke he made.
Yeah, Will didn't apologize to Chris, but he did apologize to the Academy, whatever.
Yeah, and then
Chris Rock actually apologized.
Oh, you said Will apologize.
Yeah, then
Will didn't apologize to Chris. He apologized to the Academy, but
no, he apologized to Chris on Twitter.
Yeah, he apologized to Chris after. It went from him apologizing to the Academy, and then Chris put out a statement apologizing about, you know, jokes and stuff like that. Sometimes
I don't know if that Chris Rock statement is true though, because I don't think he said anything.
And then it was Will put out his apology on Twitter.
Yeah. But by now, I think everything's water on the bridge. But the moment, like when Will was getting his award and Chris Rock's face when Will was getting his award, like my man was like, he needed to get out of Dodge. Just like he thought he was gonna get part 2 of that slap, man. Yo, it was just crazy, man. And you know, shout out to Chris. You handled that moment very well, man. You know, most people would have just like lost it.
Yeah, Rock didn't apologize for the joke.
You sure? Oh, I'm gonna look it up.
It says it. A sincere apology from Chris Rock circulating on social media isn't real.
Oh, it's fake?
Yeah.
All right, well.
Yeah, well, I guess that Jada put something out where she says it's a part of something. You know, who cares?
Well,
but
Jada said something. Who cares?
she said something. I posted something on Instagram saying it's a moment of healing right now. You know, this that we're it's a semi apology, something on Instagram. I forgot, but who cares? But this whole moment is just a moment, like Chris Rock said, this greatest moment in history of television. And I think we're gonna see it's not gonna go away for a while. This is a bad look on Will Smith. I hope he recovers from this or finds a way to recover from this. And Chris Rock is gonna capitalize off of this moment because this is something everybody wants to know what happened after. Everybody wants to know the tea. Everybody wants to know the joke. Everybody wants to know his reaction, how things went about it. And who knows, maybe we could have a therapy session. Like so earlier, somebody said they'll do a red table or something where both sides come together and then.
Oh, now you be just making up stuff, bro. That ain't happening.
That ain't happening. I could.
You really think he's gonna sit down for a red table talk?
I'm just saying. Hopefully, I'm not saying it is gonna happen. Hopefully, you know, you can make a lot of money off a slap, I guess, man. You know, and shout out for not pressing charges. Shout out to the fellas who were involved in like de-escalating everything and keeping the Oscars going from there. So yeah.
Yo, we in the social media era. Everything is popping for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks max, and people move on. We're gonna get past this real quick. I promise.
Nah, this slap's not going away.
Yeah.
Look, man, I have so much to say about this, and I've said so much about this already. I don't even really know where to start. But I'll start with saying this: the Oscars is a place where celebrities gather to celebrate accomplishments. And there's always a host, and the host makes jokes about all celebrities in said room. Ricky Gervais is one guy who's known to be edgy and says all types of jokes that some people find offensive and insensitive, right? So they find his jokes offensive and insensitive. Nobody has ever walked on stage and slapped Ricky Gervais, right? And the whole Oscars so white, even when Oscars was so white, they were making jokes about all the white people in the room, and nobody ever got on stage and slapped a comedian. It's also important to understand that in the history of comedy, comedians make jokes about people in the crowd. It's always happened throughout the history of comedy. You can go back to Def Comedy Jam. I was watching one clip of Martin Lawrence when he was making fun of people in the crowd, and MC Light's boyfriend was in the crowd, and he said, yeah, MC Light, you got it tatted on the chest, right? I used to F her. That's what Martin says. And then the dude starts laughing, and everyone's laughing, and then he goes, and trust me, there's a lot of light at the end of that tunnel, right? Then he goes on and makes a joke about Lawrence Taylor. Then he goes and makes a joke about a woman sitting in the front row. And guess what? Everyone laughed. And at the end, he says, it's all jokes. You know, it's just all jokes. Nobody ran on stage. That's the history of comedy. All comedians do it. I even know when I'm going to a comedy show, I'll be like, yo, I'm not sitting immediately in the front because I already know they're going to be looking, and they're going to be looking to pick people out. You just know that's what comedy is. Somebody making an insensitive joke at a comedy show, and to be more specific, at the Oscars, isn't new. It isn't rare. It isn't unexpected. What is unexpected is somebody getting up from their seat and slapping someone on live television. So the person who did something out of the ordinary, the person who did something that wasn't expected that night, wasn't Chris Rock. It was Will Smith. So that's one thing. Here's the other thing that I want to point out. People keep talking about Will Smith's pain and what Will Smith been through, and he was voted Beta Male of the Year, and he's been dragged through the mud. Chris Rock gave an interview with David Spade and a couple other comedians where he said he was bullied his whole life. He said his whole life he let people push him around. Until there was one time where he put bricks in a book bag and he beat up the bully so bad he thought the bully was going to die. And he said his therapist told him that now he's afraid to get mad because he's afraid that if he gets mad, he's going to go back to that point where he beat up the bully with bricks in a book bag. And you know what's so funny? When you play what happened with Will Smith, I could actually see it. Does nobody care about that? So we're just supposed to care about Jada's alopecia, right? But nobody's supposed to care about Chris's demons and what Chris been through. And the fact that Will Smith, right, slapped Chris Rock over a joke about G.I. Jane and everyone makes it about alopecia, right? Nobody talks about this though. Regina King made a joke on that same Oscar show about entanglements. She made a joke about entanglements and included numerous people, but the joke at entanglements was at the expense of Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. What do you think Jada did during that joke? She laughed.
Can you provide context though?
Go ahead.
They were the ones that exposed the whole entanglement to the world. Will agreed to get on table talk and discuss it and everything. So
no,
I think that's different. You know what I'm saying?
She's the one. She did the same thing with alopecia. She did the same thing with
her alopecia, and it wasn't because of her
alopecia on Red Table Talk.
And it wasn't some shit that they came. Excuse me, it wasn't some stuff that they just came out. Oh, we're just going to talk about it. No, and her dirt came out, and they had to speak on it.
No, facts. But what I'm saying is, you know, like there's mad rumors about their relationship, all that stuff. So people cracking jokes about the entanglement stuff, I don't think it necessarily bothers them because she's the one who brought it out to the world.
It doesn't bother Jada for sure.
It doesn't bother her. It
doesn't bother Jada for sure.
Will was running up on guys.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Jada though. I'm talking about Jada. So that part,
well, you can't have it both ways, G. Let me just stop, and then I just want to make my points. If you look at the time, I really don't got much, but you said, look at all the things people were saying about him. He was voted Beta of the Year. You used all this to justify him going on stage and slapping Chris. Now, when I'm bringing up the fact that a joke was made about the exact entanglement that led to all these jokes, now you want to say it's different because you think they're okay with it. You can't have it both ways.
So what you want Will to do, bro? You want
him? So here's what I'm saying. Either it bothers Will, the entanglement stuff, either it bothers Will or it doesn't. You say what?
Nah, hold on. There's two different things.
No, it's not.
Will went up there. Remember, he laughed at the joke. So I don't think it offended Will. But Will.
Okay, let me make my point and then tell me if you disagree with my point. We're spending too much time on irrelevant stuff. The point is, a joke was made about the entanglement. Jada laughed at it, and Will laughed at it. Although that joke was at Will Smith's expense. The entanglement joke was at Will Smith's expense, and he laughed at it, and Jada laughed at it. But as soon as a joke was made that was at Jada's expense, Will laughed at it, and Jada rolled her eyes and got upset about it. On a night that wasn't about her. On a night that was supposed to be a coronation for Will Smith and his career and all the great roles that he's had, which in particular, I don't think King Richard was his best role. I think he has had better roles, but they were just giving him basically a retroactive award.
Like they always
and I think they gave Samuel L. Jackson a retroactive award.
Like they always do.
On that same night. So again, yeah, exactly, like they did with Denzel.
What they did with Holly Berry.
Holly, although it wasn't her best film,
but not for the other.
They were giving Will his People of Color retroactive award, right? His Person of Color retroactive award on that night. And soon as a joke was told at her expense, she had to side eye and get mad. Well, why wasn't she side eyeing and getting mad when they made a joke at Will's expense? Again, is my point about how selfish she is, right? So then she side eyes when Chris Rock makes a joke at her expense. So then Will feels the need to get up and defend her. She felt no need to get up and defend Will when they made the entanglement joke at his expense, is the point. And in protecting her name, Will tarnished his own. Will built a legacy, a career of being the guy that white people would invite to dinner. He's the black man every white person would invite to dinner. He didn't swear in his raps. He made the albums they purchased for their kids. He was a great, good old guy, right? Will went on all these shows saying how he doesn't condone violence. He's anti-violence. But then on the whitest stage in America, arguably the whitest stage in the world, He went up there and slapped another black man because he didn't like what he said, which is the equivalent to me of another black man slapping or beating up another black man because he stepped on his shoe. It's stupid. Sophomoric, juvenile behavior. And that's what you have from the guy who most people thought was the most upstanding, one who was upscale, one who was going to be a leader. And what he did in that moment was he let the entire race down. He became an example. Like, if Will Smith will go on stage and slap people in the face, what do you think they all would do over a joke? And it was actually Chris Rock in that moment who understood the magnitude of that whole situation. And I guarantee you the reason why he didn't want Will Smith to be arrested and the reason why he protected Will Smith is because he said, the last thing I want my daughters to see, the last thing I want black children around America to see is a prominent black man being escorted out on national television in handcuffs. Salute to that, brother. Because what Will Smith did was absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. There are certain things you can say to another man's wife where I think you should get slapped. Anywhere in America, anywhere in the world, I think you should get slapped. I think if there's certain things you can say, you can do where I think you should get slapped. That G.I. Jane joke wasn't one of them. Anywhere, even if you were at an Applebee's, if you were anywhere, and someone said something about your wife's hair and she got alopecia, that don't mean you should get up and slap them. I don't think so. I don't think that's something that will make everyone. You know, if they said something
everybody's all there joking.
Yeah, but if they said something else, then maybe my point is that isn't even enough anywhere to get someone slapped, let alone on national TV on that stage. But then again, you look at Will Smith, and Will Smith has made some inappropriate jokes of his own. Will Smith is known for making a lot of gay jokes, man, and they didn't even resurface at how Will Smith made insensitive jokes about gay people, then made a fake apology and went right back to making jokes about them. So people should slap him. If anything, you should understand that comedian's job is to stretch the limits, go to the limit, try not to cross it. But even if you cross it, sometimes you're doing it for a purpose, i.e. Dave Chappelle in his newest special he put out on Netflix. Again, no one should run up on stage and slap anyone. To me, Will Smith is in the wrong because, one, he did, and he's the first person in the history of the Oscars to go on stage and slap someone in the face. He slaps another black guy, and you know Fox News, I saw Fox News, they said, they're finally talking about black on black crime. And I'm like, see what you did, Will? Fox News, with this black on black crime stuff. Crime is crime. There's no black on black crime. There's no white on white crime. You can look the statistics up, people. 80% of black people are killed by other black people, and 80% of white people are killed by other white people. People kill the people closest to them.
You kill who you're around.
Crime is crime. Stop with this nonsense, black on black crime, as if that's a real thing. It's not a real thing, but you perpetuated it. And Will slapping Chris Rock in the face is the reason why Clarissa Shields can't even get to the ring. Because that's why people look at us like we're prone to violence. That's why Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wrote a letter to Will Smith saying you let the community down. Because people look at you as a pillar of this community. People look at you as a great representative of the black community. You never swore on raps. You were anti-violence. And when a dude said something you didn't like about your wife, something mild, man, like a dated joke. We were just talking about it, like a joke that most kids wouldn't even get. Like people don't even know who G.I. Jane is, really. Most kids weren't even born when that movie was out. And you went upstate and you slapped Will Smith. You slapped Chris Rock. So all I'm saying to you is this. The man is wrong, and the man is wrong for a number of reasons. But I'm going to close with this. He's mainly wrong because he did something that Caden doesn't subscribe to, and all kiddies at home, if there's kids are listening, and there's any men listening, or young men, take my advice and take this to heart. You never throw your life away to appease someone else. When I was growing up and I was in college and undergrad, I saw so many young women, mostly young women, but some young men too, but mostly young women, they would have a boyfriend from home. And their boyfriend would get jealous. And their boyfriend would always want to know what they was doing. So they weren't studying like they should because they on the phone with their boyfriend, right? They weren't doing their work like they should. They weren't focused because they were always trying to convince their boyfriend that they weren't, I guess, cheating on him. right? What ended up happening is some of those girls end up flunking out. Some of them end up quitting school because the boyfriend they had at that time didn't like the fact that they were away from him around a bunch of young strapping men like me. You know what I'm saying? Who has something going for themselves. And they were like, hell, you see that guy every day? You're around guys like him every day? You got to come home, right? But their spouse's insecurity stopped them from graduating from college. And that's something you're going to regret because they may not even have been with that person later on. And I know for a fact some of them later on in life weren't with that person. They broke up. But you break up and you sacrifice the greatest thing you had going for you at that time to appease somebody else. And then some of them are still with the person and they end up getting married and now they work jobs where they struggle because they don't make enough money to not live check by check because they made the decision, a life-altering decision, to appease someone else. Will Smith is wrong in the book of Caden because he threw away his whole life. He built a fake relationship, the fakest goals relationship ever. Everybody used to look at them like relationship goals. Meanwhile, they're out screwing everyone else. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're out screwing everyone else. Will Smith built a rap career of, oh, Eminem, all you do is degrade people and curse in your raps. Oh, write a verse without a curse. That's one Will Smith's line. Write a verse without a curse, right? So, oh, he was above these rappers, but none of them are slapping other people on national TV. A career that took years to build, the status that it took Will years to build, he threw it all away in seconds to appease a woman who drags him through the freaking mud. That's why he's wrong. By Caden's rules, he's wrong because he threw away his career, his life, and everything he worked hard for to appease someone else, and that's absolutely stupid. Women, if you're in a relationship with a guy and you get an offer to go to a law school or a college in a different state, in the Ivy League, or your best office in another state, and he can't understand it, screw him. Go. Don't hitch your life to some punk. Trust me, man, you're going to be better off in the long run. Men too. Don't your girlfriend mad because you want to take an opportunity or you want to do something and you do it. Don't dim your light to appease someone else. And in the end, that's what Will Smith did. He's getting everything he deserved, and she never cared about him because, like Trill said, if she cared about him, she would have grabbed his arm and said, "You're bigger than that. You're bigger than that. Let that go." Period.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. I'm Trill Dollar Bill. That's the TBE. That's Conspiracy G. And that's my brother Kaden. You know who you rocking with. You rocking with the Boxing Bros. And we appreciate you.